Hi, this is Rob Warlow from Business Loan Services and welcome to the Coronavirus Business Interruption Loan Scheme, the sequel. Well, here we are at the end of the second week of the Coronavirus Business Interruption Loan Scheme, or CBILS, as is now become more commonly referred to. Now, over the last couple of days, there's been increasing backlash against shortcomings of the scheme, and so the government has now finally released some fine tweaks to the scheme and revised it. So first of all, what's the backlash been about? Well, over the last few days, the media in particular has done a lot of bank bashing. Businesses have been complaining about the banks and accusing them of profiteering. Really? Well, so what's the problem here? Well, when business owners have been going to the banks to access the scheme, the banks are saying, yeah, we will definitely lend you money, but we will have to lend it to you under our own commercial terms. We will do the loan as normal, as we would normally have done. We're not giving you access to the scheme. Well, business owners naturally have been throwing their arms up in horror and saying, hang on a sec, I've got a problem here now. Under CBILS, I would get 12 months interest free, and now I'm having to pay interest from day one. That's not fair. And so the banks have been accused of profiteering. Well, here's the thing. The media and many business owners don't realize it actually in this case wasn't the bank's fault. It was the way the scheme was written by the government. The government said to the banks, if you would write this loan normally, then you have to do it under your own steam. However, if it fails for some reason, only then can you access the scheme. Well, the government has now done an about turn and has said that no longer will banks be forced to assess under their normal criteria. Business owners can now automatically default to CBILS, regardless of how their business is. So that's really good news. So business owners can now access that interest-free period. So great to hear that the government was listening to those concerns. Secondly, it's been finally confirmed that if you want to borrow less than £250,000, there's now no personal guarantees. The business assets are the only things that will now be at risk. And if you're looking to borrow more than £250,000, you are now only at risk for the personal guarantees up to 20% of the loan balance. But bear in mind, you are still 100% liable for the loan via your business assets. If you default, the bank will still look to business assets first to recover what it can, and only then will it go to the government to claim under the scheme. So you are still 100% liable. Now, one other thing that is still a core part of the scheme is this issue of viability. Now, I've mentioned in previous bulletins, you have to understand that this kind of scheme is not there to bail you out if you had problems before the coronavirus hit. And many business owners are a bit astonished to find this out. So the key thing to remember is if you were making losses before this crisis, then you are unlikely to access the scheme. The government obviously doesn't want to put itself at risk by throwing good money after bad. So you really had to have a profitable business before the crisis hits in order to be eligible for the scheme. So good to say that they've listened to the marketplace and some changes have been made. Now, if you want to know more about the scheme, you need to go along to the British Business Bank website. They are the government organisation that's managing this scheme, and its website address is british-business-bank.co.uk, and there you'll see on the navigation bar at the top, programs. Click on that and there you'll find more information about the scheme. There are currently 40 lenders on there, and understand that more lenders will be coming on shortly because 40 lenders to kind of service all businesses across the UK is too small a panel. So that is being expanded. Alternatively, if you do want to have a chat about these options, just drop us an email, info@businessloanservices.co.uk, and either myself or one of the team will happily chat you through the options. So great to see this scheme evolving, and hopefully more businesses will now be eligible for that funding that they need.